Hey folks, AZ Long here. Just thought I'd show you a few things that I've done to the scooter. We got about 3,800 miles on her now. It's been a long time. I haven't been able to ride. I had a neck operation, and for 4 months I was unable to do much of anything. But I've been out of my neck brace and finally getting to do some things on the bike. So I thought I'd give you a quick rundown. So far, I love it. Much lighter than my Africa Twin. I haven't gotten to push it really hard yet in the dirt, but that's coming. So some of the things I've done just while I've been waiting for pannier racks, which I'm waiting for the racks from, what the heck's their name? I don't know why I always forget their name. Anyway, it'll come to me. So I bought these cheap Cidici bags and put a guard on the muffler to keep it from burning while I was up in Oregon. I did ride the bike up to Oregon, did about 2,000 miles with my sister on her 500. So I've got this SW-Motech bag that I've transferred from 2 or 3 different bikes. And I have the Fandango, I think it is, giant loop bag on the front. I was hoping to get my Motech bags that snap on, that are quick to take on and off, but they don't make a mount for the gas tank yet. So I'm kind of stuck there, but this bag works really good. It's not too bad to access the gasoline. So I've got under here an Aero titanium exhaust muffler, and that is running all the way down to what is it, HC Corse header system. And I wanted to go with that one because it doesn't have the big bulge where the cat normally is. And so I did that. While all of that was going on, a whole bunch of stuff fell off the bike. Things like catalytic converter, SAS, canister for overflow. Just junk that nobody else in the world has except the US, I think. Anyway, other things I've done because of finally getting the low seat from Aprilia, which now makes me touch the ground very nicely. I put on some SW-Motech pegs, the kind that are, I think they're called EVO, but they are adjustable, pretty much infinitely adjustable, up, down, forward, backward. I've also installed the T-Tex lower and upper guards, and T-Tex is a company out of Texas, and since they're American made and American produced, that's the way I went. I put in, which is under the seat, you can't see it, a took me a second to remember the name, Eastern Beaver. I like his products. So I put that in order to install my pigtail for my heated gear. I also have my Garmin with the locking system from Rally Raid, I believe it was, and then my phone mount that's protected. My DRZ mirrors. I don't like the typical mirrors that everybody puts on there with the ball end from ram mount and all of that stuff. It's a lot heavier. This is a good mirror. I've had them on the Africa Twin. They come on betas. I've never broken one, and I do a bit of falling. Anyway, I installed the quick shift honor the heated grips, which are not too bad. They're a little harder than I like, but I'm not going to worry about that. I've got one short lever and I got to get a brake one, but I haven't found the front brake one that fits yet without spending $200, and that seems a little obscene to me. The other heated grip. I installed a SAE plug here. There's enough room behind it, so all I have to do is plug in if I need something for my air pump or something like that to do a tire change. It's right there. And also, while I'm thinking about it, in case people don't know about the Aprilia, when you buy it and you start installing all this stuff, Aprilia actually puts, and I didn't find it till I had this panel off, because on the inside frame rail, there's a SAE pigtail already there. It was tie wrapped to that frame rail, and so it was out of sight, and I didn't even see it until I was messing around. I just installed these. They're $59. I think I got them from Amazon. They do a pretty good job. I hooked them right up to the factory setup, which is the plug under here. They don't go on and off with the high beam, low beam, which I think legally they're supposed to. But I run them during the daylight mostly, just to give the bike a little bit of extra visibility. I also did a T-Rex front guard, bolts up quick and easy for the headlight. I see people putting on these screened headlight guards, and I'm wondering why, when you've got gravel like that, if you can see that here in Arizona is sharp as a razor, and it'll go right through there and into your lens, and that's a very expensive proposition. The handguards are a combination of Cycra and Barkbuster, all stuff that I had left over from dirt bikes and my other bikes that I've had over the years. And what I did here, because I wanted to keep the end weights, so in the course of doing the handguards, the stock Aprilia has these little plugs that bolt into the handlebar, is threaded on the end, and these bolt into it. The heated grips come with new of these things. And as you can see, I've got gloves on now. It's cold out here. What I did was I took the new one, since I figured it had a different shape than this. It has a groove around it, and it's a little bit longer. So what I did was I drilled these out to 8mm and tapped them for 8 by 1.25 thread pitch, and then that's what I've threaded this bolt into. So to recap, I drilled out the end weight, cut off the little tab that's on the end weight for the stock handguards, drilled these out, tapped them for 8mm, and then I ran these in and the bolt into there. And that seems to have worked out to be pretty good. I try to use as much as possible of stuff I've already got. Hence, this doesn't want to open. It's got the cigarette lighter normally there, but that fell out one day. 2 ports for charging USBs. It's fused. I have it hooked up to come on or to stay on all the time, and it's power switched If you saw that, I don't know. So it's got a power switch on it, and I just have to make sure I turn it off. The light that's the clock that's running in here is actually battery operated, so it doesn't affect the bike. What else have I done? I got the up map for ignition and ECU flashing. I didn't realize that the Commander 6 is made for this. Otherwise, I would have gotten that. A little bit more difficult to install, and it's not flashing the existing ECU, but what it does do is allow me to make my own maps, ignition and fuel. And I think I would have liked that better. I'm dependent on somebody else to make maps that work for the bike. And then I've got to download them. And I don't know how many downloads I get for free, but I'm not going to pay for extra downloads. The thing here in the States is $650. For $350, I could have gotten the Commander 6 from Dynatech or Dynajet. And put my fork protectors on, the carbon fiber fork protectors, just to keep the forks from getting binged with rocks. Also, I have fork socks on, which I have used on dirt bikes for a long time, and I've used them on the Africa Twin doing a lot of trips, and that wipes the dust and crud off and helps to keep the fork seals alive. I've never found anything detrimental about them, so I am still using them. Also, I have installed these little guys. They are the Fobo Bike 2 pressure TPMS system. They work off an app on your phone. It's functional. You've got to keep your phone on all the time in order to watch them and listen for the alerts that they might give you if you get a low tire all of a sudden. And the pressures are off from my gauge compared to them, so I have to kind of compensate on that end. But it's somewhat reassuring. If the bike had come with TPMS, I would have liked it a lot more, but it doesn't, so that's what I'll do. The only bad part about them is that to put air into the tires or to take air out of the tires, you have to remove that cap. And each time you do that, the system resets. It will read again, but if you're adding air and you're putting in 2 pounds, 3 pounds, and you don't know how much you're putting in, you've got to put the cap on, take it off, on, off, and that's a pain in the butt. Haven't done anything on skid plate yet. I'm still debating that. This one's doing its job, so I'm not going to worry about it for right now. It's a lot lighter than the others, that's for sure. Like the bike, especially now I can touch the ground easier. I was worried about having to do suspension on it and lower it, but with the lowered seat from Aprilia, it has made a big difference. I don't know what's going to happen though when I go to taller tires. I'm going to be putting probably the Rousey Motos tires on. I haven't completely made up my mind yet, but I believe that's the ones I'm going to choose. Okay, if I think of anything else, I'll throw it in here. And if I can remember, I will try to make a list of all the stuff I've done and puts the parts up on the screen for you. So AZ Long, saying ride careful, ride safe. Take care, y'all. See ya. Bye.